John Liddle here for SWOSUathletics.com, along with the head coach of the SWOSU Bulldogs men's basketball team. Bob Battisti is with us. Coach Battisti, appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.
Thanks, John.
Hey, getting ready for the season. SWOSU in just a few weeks will be starting out their year, their exhibition season, and then a week and a half or so after that, the regular season opener for the Bulldogs as they get the second season under Coach Battisti started. Coach, you brought in a huge recruiting class this offseason. You really needed to. You lost a lot of guys off last year's team. What have you learned about these gentlemen through the offseason program?
Well, we're very talented. I mean, we've got more depth and more talent than we did last year. Obviously, we lack some experience, but a group willing to learn, a lot of talent, a lot of ability, and we're deeper.
Talking with Bob Battisti, the head coach of the Bulldogs. Coach, I know that there are a few of these kids that are coming back off last year's team that experienced really some of the elation of last season, but also the disappointment as well. Going from, first in the conference over the last few games to having some things go against you and ended up second, and then obviously losing in the conference tournament as well. Can you use the end of last season to drive into this year, or do you have to totally separate it and say this is just an entirely new year?
Well, John, we've mentioned it. I mean, but we don't have a lot of guys back who can relate to what I'm saying. So, but we can make it a point. We can mention it. We didn't finish the way we wanted. We put ourselves in great position to really make history and just didn't quite get it done. So, yeah, we'll mention it if we can get ourselves in position. We got a lot of work to do before we can even worry about what we learned, because we're not in position yet to do anything. I mean, we got a lot, again, work and effort to put ourselves in that spot to talk about what can happen.
Well, we're here in your locker room, which is an absolutely beautiful facility. Part of the way that you help your guys get into that position is, I know these are just signs up here, but you're just always trying to remind them of what SWOSU basketball is all about. One sign I did want to pay attention to is back here on this back wall, talking about your team goals. You got about 9 of them up there, starting with team unity, going all the way down to GAC regular season championship. How do you come up with those goals on a year-to-year basis?
Well, I always start with 1 or 2 goals that I want to accomplish. And of course, they're not looking at me. I keep it real simple. We want to have a winning season. So that's one goal I'd like for us to accomplish. Another goal I set for our team this year personally, we have to win in the postseason. I mean, that's something we did not do last year. That's something we are going to do and emphasize. We're going to win postseason games. And it starts with me. I don't know if I did a great job prepping our guys and getting our guys ready for postseason play last year, but those are my 2 goals. And then the other 7, basically, I leave it up to them. We walk into the room and I tell them the 2 goals that I'd like to see us accomplish, and then I turn it over to our captains, and then they decide what they want to get accomplished. And as you see, we put it on a big goal sheet, and then this year I had each player sign the covenant, so to speak. They signed it, and that's something we'll talk about as the season goes on.
I understand, Coach. Now, as you did say, your team is deeper, more talented than it was last season. What I do love is that we haven't heard a lot of talk about, oh man, you got to see this guy right here because he's the best ever and he's just going to lead this team. Is this an opportunity right now in this time, we go into practice tomorrow, where it's just kind of wide open to say, hey, if you want to help lead this team, step up and do it. If you want to be one of the best players on this team, step up and do it. There's no preconceived notions about that going into this season.
I don't know if we have a leading scorer. I don't know if we have a best this or best that. We got a really good group of 9 or 10 deep, which we can go. And it's always been my experience, if you're good 6 through 9 or 6 through 10, that's what separates a lot of teams. A lot of teams are really good 1 through 5. But I think this year, if we can understand our roles and accept them, that's the difference that this team will make, is we're really deep 6 through 10.
And finally, Coach Battisti, as we get ready to talk to a couple of your players, Kenyan and Trent are going to be with us here in a moment. You've got practice starting tomorrow, hot and heavy, and then leading up to those first exhibition games and into the regular season. What are Coach Battisti's coaching goals right now? What are you trying to do with these guys to whip them into the shape you want them to be in?
Well, I've been coaching attitude for the last probably 3-4 days, and as I told them, I'm about done coaching attitude. We got to go into a little more theory and do things a little more the way they're designed to be run. And our guys have responded. I mean, I'm big on you can't let anything slip. I mean, I'm all about perfection, do it right. I never give our players an inch. And I tell them a lot of times that if you want to be average or ordinary or comfortable, you're never going to make it here. I mean, you got to be extraordinary to play in this program, and I really believe the people we put on the floor are extraordinary. So that's what we're trying to attain.
Well, Coach Battisti, we're looking forward to a great season from your guys, and look forward to seeing you in the exhibition opener on November 4th, and then the regular season opener a little bit later on.
Okay, thanks, John.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. John Liddle here with SWOSU point guard Kenyan Borders as the SWOSU basketball season is about ready to get underway. And Kenyan, you're a guy that's been here a long time now. You're an old grizzly vet, and as you go into this season, what are you excited about? Let's get in your brain, think about why you're getting excited for your senior year.
I'm excited, just like you said, my senior year. Last year, you want to go out with a bang, you want to have the most fun you ever had. And hard work. I worked so hard that I plan on having fun this season and winning a lot of games this season, a lot more, especially in the postseason.
What does hard work look like for you in the off season, in between the times where you absolutely have to be here to win? Now you're going into the official practices starting on Wednesday. What does that look like for you? What have you been doing to yourself, your body, to get yourself ready?
Just preparation, get my mind set for practice. Like during the summer, it was more of, physical conditioning. Now since we're getting ready to practice 2 hours a week now, 2 hours of practice every day now, it's more of a mental thing for me now. Less hard work, but more of a physical.
Yeah, and as you help lead this program this year as a senior guy, the point guard position is supposed to be a natural leadership position. Do you find yourself growing into that spot? Do you feel like you already were there last year? Did you have some things to improve on? What do you think?
Before last year, I don't think I was there much of a leader until Coach Battisti came in here. Coach Battisti, I think he formed me into the point guard for this team that we need for this team. I feel like I'm a better leader now than I was last year, and I think that's going to be great for us.
Absolutely. What do you get excited about when you think about this team? I know you talked about your senior year, but this group of guys, they seem to have a lot of talent. We're talking about that. It seems to be evident. What excites you about that?
Just how people came from different JUCOs or different high schools, and they was, averaging the most on their team, and how everybody came in and we all bought in. And I feel like I'm very excited about that because I feel like we really got a chance with people buying in and listening to Coach Battisti and all that.
That really is the key, isn't it? Buying in.
Yeah.
Because, you can take a bunch of star players from star programs, form an all-star team. It doesn't always work out.
Right. Yeah.
Do you think everybody's in that same mindset that, hey, just because, we've got that talent doesn't automatically mean championship or anything like that?
Yeah, I definitely feel like we're all there right now. Yeah, I definitely feel that way.
What about the season? You guys have a couple of D1 games. Those are always fun to have. You got to know you got to Tulsa. You guys had Colorado State last year. I'm sure you'd like to see your guys fare a little bit better than you did against CSU last year. But do those get you fired up, even though they're just exhibitions?
Yeah, definitely. OU, Tulsa, D1s. We feel like we can go in there and really beat those guys. We're not just, we're playing OU, call all my family and friends, come watch this. No, we're going in there trying to win. That's how we plan on doing it. Absolutely.
That'd be a lot of fun. What about as far as the regular season opponents go? Who's that team that you look forward to playing the most?
Right now, there's not really a team.
No?
No, not really. Actually, it is. Northwestern.
I knew that was coming. Come on.
Northwestern. That's the team
right there. I was trying to lead you down that path.
That's the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the team.
Well, they've gotten your goat the last couple years. Or last year, I should say, a couple times with what they were able to do. So that's a tough team to play, no doubt about that. but is it nice to be able to form those rivalries, I guess, and revive those rivalries? Because Northwestern and SWOSU hadn't played a lot over the last few years until the last two. But it's like they got together and instantly there's just this big fire all of a sudden, this explosion.
I like it. It brings a lot of intensity to the game, which I'm not saying the other game doesn't, but that especially is like the most anticipated game of the year.
Well,
for all the fans and family.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Well, we're anticipating a great season from you guys and appreciate you talking to us. Thanks so much. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Kenyan Borders. John Liddle back with Trent Washington, senior SWOSU Bulldog basketball player guard. Trent, how you doing, man?
Doing good, sir.
Hey, great to see you. Absolutely. Hey, had a lot of fun talking with Coach Battisti and also KB as well. Let's get your version of it, though. You know, from your mind, what are you excited about this season going in?
Oh man, this year it's gonna be a great year. All the hard work that we put in for a short amount of time. We got a lot of people new here. I'm just ready to play. Well, we ready to play. We got a lot of people that's working hard, real hard, to show that they care about this team and the program. Want to get us back where we was at last year and finish with a ring on our finger. That's what everybody talks about every day. It's hard work and dedication that everybody putting in just to win.
And Coach made a great point. You know, we start with where it was last year. I do, because I think about, okay, that's my last vision of SWOSU basketball. Great regular season, yeah, disappointment in the postseason tournament. That's kind of where my mind goes. But at the same time, that's really not where you're starting. You're trying to prove that you're supposed to be one of the top teams in this conference, and you got to go reprove that. Do you think that the team has caught on to that their mind is wrapped around that concept?
Yes. Gotten a lot of new guys, so they really don't know what to expect. Me, KB, and Jordan as leaders and captains, we try to preach to them what it takes. This league is not easy. It's not going to be easy this year either. It's improving. A lot of tough teams here, but I think we can do it. Listen to coaches. Me, KB, and Jordan never take no days off in practice and lead these guys to the right way. I think we can do it.
What does that take to be a leader in the off season? You know, maybe even specifically, do you, if somebody just happens to oversleep or miss a day or something like that, or maybe they're just a little bit late for weight session or something like that, is it you guys' job to get after those guys? Is that kind of how it works?
Yes. But me and KB and Jordan, we look back what Rod and Mike did last year. They was a big help. They never took days off. And me and KB try to look back on that. We talk about that all the time, man. We try to push these guys. If somebody like a little late, we quick to get on the phone, or if anything, we try to help them, guide them to the right way. We just trying to do what Mike and Rod do. We're not saying that we can win the awards that they did, but trying to lead the right way how they did. Because they was a huge help for us last year. And that's one reason why I can say for myself this year, I'm never taking no days off because of Rod and Mike. I owe it to them and this university, so I can't wait.
Well, when I think of Trent Washington, I tell you, I think of teardrop shots in the lane, and I think of 30-foot bombs. Have you added anything else to your game this season? What did you work on in the offseason, or is it just an extension of trying to get better on those things?
This year, I put a lot of time in the gym. Probably the most I put ever in the summer. Working out with KB and Rod helped me a lot. This year, can't say too much about my game, but just says I'm just not going to be just a shooter. I need to create for others. I talked to Coach Johnson and Coach Battisti over the summer, and that's one thing that's going to improve my game, putting the ball on the ground and helping out other players.
Last season, and everybody on the team would admit that it was a very big, the depth was a big problem with last year's team, trying to find somebody past that top five, you know, the 6 through 10 guys like Coach Battisti was saying. Do you go into the season feeling confident that that's something you guys have this year?
Yes, I feel real confident. Even for myself, it doesn't matter. I can come off the bench. I can start. Who knows? But we have 10 guys, 10 tough guys that actually can go to other teams and start. That's going to be one great thing that we have on our team, and we just going to be play hard, get a sub. The next guy going to come up. He going to play hard. He's going to get a sub. We have each other back. We just play hard. That's all we asking for. Give it your all. So that's gonna help us 1 through 10.
What's the motto of the team this year? Maybe I'll ask. I kind of talked about this with Coach Battisti earlier this year. Those team goals. Which one do you look at and say, man, that's a big challenge right there. We better focus on that one, because that one's a difficult one right there. We're talking about top 3 rebounding team. We're talking about #1 team in scoring defense. What kind of comes to mind for you is that's a big challenge right there?
The first big challenge for everybody, for every team, that me, KB, and Jordan came up with this year, is being a team. If you don't have a team, you can't win. You can't do none of those goals. You can't accomplish none of those. So it's a team that you gotta have first.
I love it, man. Hey, thanks so much for talking to us. We
Thank you,
appreciate
sir.
it. Good luck to you on this season. It's going to be a great one for SWOSU basketball, both men's and women's action. We look forward to bringing it to you, both on 95.5 The Coyote, and also you can watch all these home games. Just go to SWOSUathletics.com, go to live stream, and watch them there as well. We'll have our audio there for you too. Hey, thanks to KB, thanks to Trent, thanks to Coach Battisti as well. We'll talk to you during the ball games. John Liddle for SWOSUathletics.com.